Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel on a day that we can basically now celebrate Liverpool being Champions League finalists. It feels amazing to be saying that. It has been some season for the Reds, which means we can now play every single game that is in front of us. I think that's the first time that's ever happened. So lots to discuss. We've got a fantastic panel this evening. Joining us from the 1892 Reds podcast, we have Ricky. How are you, Ricky?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks for having us on and get ready to get stuck into it.
Absolutely indeed. Hello to Dan as well from the Mighty Reds TV, whose video is now at 49k views. Still needs to get to that 50k. How are you, mate?
Yeah, it's slowed down just slightly. I was expecting 50 by this week, but I think it's only like about 10 views away from 50k now, so it's good. Yeah, but yeah, it means I'm smiling from ear to ear at the moment with Liverpool. Absolutely brilliant, isn't it? You know the thing about the first time we played every game in a season, did we not do that in the treble season as well? Because we won the 3 cups, didn't we? And we obviously played every league game.
That's quite possible, actually. Yeah, that's good. That is quite possible, in all honesty. And of course, last but not least, we have been joined by Mick Moran from the Kopite Podcast. How are you, Mick?
Yeah, cheers, Doug. Nice one for having me on. I know I was meant to be on for a couple of weeks in a row, and I've either work or work, really. Work or just being still too hungover from watching the Reds, like Dan said. Like, it's a boss town to be a Liverpool fan, so it's just trying to... people asking you to do a show, and you're like, oh, I'm still hungover from 2 days ago. I can't face jumping on the show. It's one of them, but yeah, you wouldn't change it for anything, would you? Because how good Liverpool are at the minute. So yeah, nice one for having me on.
My pleasure. Absolute pleasure indeed. Let's say hello to a few people because I did see actually. Hello, Helen. Hope you're good. I did also see that Diego was in the chat earlier.
Oh, that's a fly. It's just actually a spider's just following me.
Jesus Christ, that's a good start. Hello, Helen. Hello, Kian. Hello, Liz. And that is it so far. And I'll put this comment up. It's May the 6th and the quadruple is still on. Life is good. Yeah, 100%. And we will begin at that game because it is... Oh, my goodness. I thought... Now, obviously, I missed this game because of work, but I saw the highlights after it. To be 2-0 down at halftime, I thought, oh, no, here we go. Liverpool don't make it easy for themselves. And then the second half completely turned on its head. Ricky, was that the worst first half of the season for you?
I think it could potentially be the worst 45 minutes I've seen under Klopp since he's been here. It's like we never expected them to come out flying and attacking, trying to get some goals. I thought a few players got taken by surprise, and the midfield, I think Thiago was very poor with Kate in midfield in the first half. The front three just weren't gelling because the midfield three weren't getting on the ball enough. We couldn't string a pass together, let alone 2 passes. But something happened at half time. I think Klopp beat a few heads in the changing room. They asked Mo Salah after the game, what did Klopp scream, or was he talking at half time? He said he was talking, then he started screaming. So no, he come out and we got a totally different performance from the boys, and they just absolutely annihilated Villarreal in the end.
Yeah, I mean, very, very poor first half, Dan, but it kind of showed in the end that change at halftime changed the game, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a bonkers first half, wasn't it? It was unbelievable. I mean, Ricky mentioned Thiago and Naby Keita there, but literally the 1 to 11 were all shocking. I mean, there was no one who everyone just seemed so nervous. No one could get on the ball. You know, Van Dijk was knocking them out. Andy Roberts. You know, you're talking about experienced pros here who've won the league, won the Champions League, played in the biggest games, and they looked absolutely sure of confidence. Klopp did well because literally at half time, if you looked at social media and whatever, everyone was saying, "Oh, we need 3 subs, we need this many subs, we need to change it all round. This player needs to come off that," and he didn't really change that much. Obviously, he brought Diaz on, but he let the rest of them, like the midfield, and that just sorted out between them. And in the end, it was obviously a great win. And the players who were so poor in the first half were all excelling in the second half. But brilliant win in the end. But yeah, we certainly made it hard. But I don't think it's just Liverpool. If you look at the history of Champions League semis, they're always crazy. Obviously, the night after was exactly the same. And when you think about the year we won it, the Spurs Ajax game, Liverpool back, they're never over till they're over, mate. Insane.
Yeah, 100%. And Mick, I've waxed lyrical about this player so many times. Luis Diaz, what an impact he has had on this Liverpool side.
Yeah, he's absolutely incredible. I agree completely with the boys. Like, we just played into their hands first half. The fact that they scored after, 3 minutes? That was like first cardinal sin. Don't concede that early. And that was what the game plan would have been. Don't concede early. And we did. And we just kind of played into their hands. And we got absolutely smothered that first half. But what was it? Diaz come on, was it? It was at half time, wasn't it, for Jota?
Yeah, it was.
And I think Jota, it's a weird one, like, because I think Klopp said after the game, like, it wasn't anything Jota did wrong, but I've just thought, like, in terms of him closing down the spaces, he weren't closing them quick enough. And I don't think if we're going to press as a team, you've got to do it as a team. You can't just do it individually, because we were literally there, centre back, we were just playing a quick ball in behind Jota into midfield, from midfield over to the wing, and they were just absolutely flying on us. But I think Diaz, for me, like I said, he's absolutely unbelievable, and he stretches us as well. He stays as wide as he can all the time, and that ball's always there. And you play over the top, he's got the pace to get in behind with it. If you play it into his feet, he's got the ability to take someone on. You don't know which way he's going to go, and he's got the strength and tenacity to fight anyone off. And that, for me, just kind of solidified why he's got to be a starter in this team, because it's. I don't think anyone in world football is like undroppable, but I think in the form that he's in, and I think he proved it in that game, just how important he can be for us. And the Champions League final was tomorrow. I mean, it's probably changed quite a few in terms of what we think, in terms of, like, Jota was probably a nailed-on starter, then Bobby came back in, he was a nailed-on starter, but now Diaz is the way he's been playing, the way he's settled in, considering he's only been here, 4 months or a bit less.
Yeah.
It's absolutely immense, to be honest. And the fact, what was he, 37 million? It's an absolute steal. We're so lucky to have him, and the fact that he's only 25 and it's how good he can be. I mean, I could talk all day about him. He's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think we could all speak about him all day anyway. But I suppose, Ricky, we were helped by what has to be said, by one of the most shocking goalkeeping performances I think I've ever seen. Geronimo really, I mean, we thought he was really bad the first game, but that second game, oh my days. I mean, he could put Loris Karius to shame, let alone put anyone to shame.
Oh, I mean, I've got a couple United and Chelsea fans in the WhatsApp group, and they were right there. They're talking match fixing. They think it was that bad. I mean, I don't think I've seen a worse goalkeeper performance before that. I mean, like the Diaz goal, it's gone through his legs, but it's a good header. It's from close range. But the Mane goal, I mean, what's he doing that far? He got beat to the ball as well. Like the Fabinho shot just went, it's like a polo. It went straight through him. But you have to give a shout out to Mane. I think a lot of people criticise Mane form-wise on the left-hand side, that it was becoming the end of his Liverpool career in some ways, that it'll get replaced. But it's just like he's been reborn in that false nine position. I mean, it's just unbelievable how he's adapted so well to that position. So, yeah, no, fair play to him. He got his goal as well in midweek. Oh,
100%. And I suppose we can't really talk about the Champions League game without talking about the other tie, Dan. I mean, Man City 1-0 up after 72 minutes. Real Madrid do the comeback chill yet again, 90th minute and then 91st minute. They make it 2-1, goes into extra time, and then Benzema gets the penalty, wins it 3-1. When it went 1-0, Dan, did you think that it was going to be Liverpool versus City in the final?
Of course, mate. Everybody pretty much in the world who were watching it would have thought that, wouldn't they? Certainly, if you see some of the reaction videos and that from some of the other fan channels and whatever else, you see people saying, that's it, game over. And I think it was on the BBC text commentary, it says, that's it, City are in the final, City are on the way to Paris. So everyone did, didn't they? It was absolutely amazing comeback. I remember at 1-0, I was sort of keeping an eye on it, and I think Madrid had a bit of an attack, and I don't know why the commentators are getting excited. It's done and dusted, this game. But yeah, what was it, 99? Oh, sorry, 90 minutes, 90 plus 1, and then 194 or something, wasn't it? It was insane, wasn't it? It was absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, what a game. And yeah, happy to see Madrid in the final. Going to be another tough match. But yeah, it's great. It's a European final. It's great to play, a foreign team.
100%. I mean, Mick, I don't know about you, but did Pep cost his team the other night with the subs that he made? Like, Mahrez was subbed off like immediately after he scored.
Yeah, I think was it De Bruyne? De Bruyne just came off, didn't he? Just before he scored.
Yeah.
And I think Gundogan played a good ball, considering I think he replaced him. I don't know. It's just this whole this like tale about Guardiola. It's not like, does he overthink things? And the more they spend, and the more it goes on without a Champions League trophy, the more you think, is there something in it? But I don't know. Like, he's like Ricky said, and like Dan said, like at that point where he's making subs, he's probably thinking, well, need to make this sub to maybe get a goal. But then if we do get a goal, the qualities that it's like, you bring on Gundogan, he's still a quality player. They're bringing on players who have still got a lot of quality. It's not like it's a huge drop. But he's maybe thinking ahead to Newcastle on the weekend. I honestly don't know what's going through his head. Like for me, if bringing off De Bruyne in a game of that magnitude, when you still need maybe another goal just to seal it, it's a bit of a mad one to me. He's thinking, he's trying to play 4D chess, but he's just absolutely fucking it up. But I don't know. Well, it's great news for us, because I don't think any of us wanted to play City in the final, because it was if we beat them, it would be amazing. But if we lose, there's too many cons in terms of pros against them. But against Real Madrid, we've got a lot to prove. Like Salah said, like, there's revenge and Kiev and whatever else. There's a lot of things at play there against Real Madrid, and that's the tie we all wanted. But it's nice to see City still not get a Champions League trophy. That's what we want. That's what we want to keep happening. We want them to stay on 0 for as long as they can. So
I love this comment from Liz. She says, I think James freaking Milner slapped everyone at halftime. Quite possibly. I think we may have got the Klopp hairdryer boss, says Jeannie. What a game Tuesday. We played badly first half. I think we came out with our boots on. Yeah, definitely. Klopp, Van Dijk and Mona just beat the shit out of everyone else at half time. Yeah, City though. Yeah, unlucky. But second half was much better. I'm glad Manny and Diaz saw us through with Fabs to start us off, but they gave us a fright. Yeah, they did. They absolutely did. And I won't mention a certain radio station who said Villarreal were a disgrace. We'd be open to doing a spiel of Big Rom and Kip from Edwards. It's very like Mr. Arrangement I'd forgotten about Reeds. Yeah. So yeah, am I lagging a little bit actually? Am I all right? I think I am lagging a little bit. If Twitter was around in 2005, yeah, that is true. Football Twitter these days can be a toxic place. Yeah, indeed. And yeah, sound issues. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I don't know if it's maybe a delay on my end, but let's see. I think you're going a bit roboty, mate. All right, okay. Let me just try this. But we will discuss because we Madrid yet again in the. We do face Real Madrid in the yet again, and the one thing is that every time we've played a Champions League, the team we've played is white. Mental.
What's that? The strips.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. We had Tottenham and they had white. Real Madrid the year before in white. So it could be a good omen, could be a bad omen. But last time we played in Paris in the Champions League final, was it 81?
Yeah.
who you beat.
Exactly.
So history's repeating itself. Salah, we see his interview, was it last night when he picked up the Football Writers Award? Said it's revenge mission. I don't get this thing where a lot of people are saying it's going to be a very tough game. I don't. I think that they're defensively a shambles. Real Madrid, we've seen that through the Champions League. They've conceded a lot of goals. It just seems to be the last 10, 15 minutes, Real Madrid just turn into some sort of super team. And they've put teams to the sword and knocked them out. They did it with Chelsea. They've done it with City now. But no, I'm glad it's Real Madrid because, like I said to Chris when he came on our stream the other day, I don't want to be the team that gives Man City their first Champions League. Could you imagine social media after that game would just become a complete meme that would give Oil Football the first Champions League trophy and was just like, yeah, gave it away pretty much.
I can look on one difference, though, is that we won't have Loris Karius, Alisson. I think having Alisson is much levels above what we had the last time we played. Oh, hang on a minute.
Was that for me, Doug, or for Dan?
Yeah, it was for you, Mick. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, mate. Karius was. It's just the less said, the better, isn't it? Really, about Loris Karius, like fucking hell, like that was just that night would have just been amazing. Like the fact that we got there and the whole event, the whole occasion, and whatever else. But I suppose he made a few good saves on the way, and he was an okay keeper. But it was one of those, like, after that, it was a good thing that happened. Is what I'm trying to say. I think that was a blessing in disguise in terms of we then needed to identify a proper top class goalie, and that's what that kind of made us do. And we ended up getting Alisson Becker at the end of it to kind of make us the team that we are. And you could argue he's maybe our most important ever signing in terms of getting the Premier League. I know Van Dijk's definitely up there, but those two as a duo, Alisson and Van Dijk, have made us what we are now. So, yeah, and you've only got to look at the saves Alisson's made, even just this season alone, like in terms of keeping us in games and the high line, which everyone talks about, which is dead boring. But in terms of one-on-one saving as well, I think Carragher done like a bit on Monday Night Footy, using some goalie statistics, like Alisson's the best one-on-one goalie in the world in terms of, I think he's saved us like 8 goals, which he maybe shouldn't have. But yeah, he's just it makes the world of difference when you have a good goalie. It's as simple as that. If you win a goalie, if you've got a good goalie, you win championships, you win titles, you win cups. So that's pretty much it. And especially the fact that breeds confidence in the rest of the team, the defence, the midfield, the attack. It makes them, just puts their mind at ease. You know, if they do get in behind, you've got that big massive fella that he's gonna more than likely stop the shot or prevent a goal. So yeah, it's nice to have him. Really nice to have him. He's the best in the world for me by a long way.
Yeah, and especially with Ederson's performance the night. Dan, I mean, you can look at Madrid's side. I mean, they've got class for obviously Vinicius Junior, Benzema. But the one we have to look out for, and I think he went on the other night, Camavinga. What a player this guy is. He seemed to change the game when he came on against City the other night.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me. I seem to be getting a few technical issues on my end, so I don't know whether it's my Wi-Fi or my data I'm flipping between them. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry, I just heard you say something about Camavinga. I mean, yeah, they've got some quality players, mate, but I think it's the midfield sort of trio when we played them in the past of Modric, Kroos and Casemiro. We couldn't get near them last year in the Champions League, and we couldn't get near them in the final in 2018, could we? So it's getting around them. It's going to be a big ask as well. Obviously, we've upgraded our midfield a little bit since then with Thiago now fully integrated, Fabinho. And then obviously I think Henderson will probably get the other spots just about as well, but we'll see.
Yeah. Someone's actually asked how many Champions League City have got. Let's have a wee look at that. How many times has City won the Champions League? Yeah. 0. 0 as Helen said. Well, it's 50-50 until Carlo mentioned the blue sheet.
Yeah, Carlo mentioned it yesterday, didn't he? Yeah, he said that it's going to be like a derby. He's got Everton at heart, so it's going to be a bigger game for him.
He said he's an Evertonian, didn't he?
Yeah.
Basically, and he's like, "Fuck off, Carlo! Stop talking shit, mate."
Trust him to say that. Imagine his club losing your only Champions League. I know, such a shame. Loud and clear does says he can hear you loud and clear. No problem. Apparently, I was doesn't look right. Well, what I'm going to do is you guys have a chat yourselves. I'm going to try and sort this about 2. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know whether you guys were having problems with Doug then. Every time he keeps on coming in and out, and I wasn't sure it was my connection, so as I say, I've been flicking between my Wi-Fi and my data, but nothing seems to be working. But I don't know if it's Doug, it's Doug.
No, it's Doug, definitely.
Is it Doug? Is it Doug? So I don't need to worry then.
I was watching Doug, but then I was looking at Ricky, and Ricky's like, the camera's dead smooth, and he's just like, I can see him laughing, and I can just see Doug doing like the crouchy robot.
Well, he started asking me a question. I just said something about Camavinga, and then it went off, and I was just like, I'll have to just wing it a bit here. But yeah.
That's why there was about a 20-second gap when he asked me about Alisson. I was like, I don't know if that was for me. I've got no idea.
Yeah, he said that about all white kits, and I didn't get the end of it.
Yeah, the thing was, apparently in every Champions League final that we've had so far, or European final, Cup final, the team that we've played have played in white, even if they haven't necessarily played in white, i.e. AC Milan played in white. And then Juventus is sort of the flying ointment kind of thing, because they don't really play in white, they play in black and white, so it's a bit stretching it, but
I just started rambling on a little bit just to see what you...
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, I could tell you were stringing that out just to see if Doug's connection was
because because I was waiting for him to like say and he just froze and didn't say anything, so I just carried on.
Boss. But yeah,
what are we predicting for the final, guys? Because before Tuesday night, I was absolutely sure if we got to the final, he was going to go with Fabinho, Thiago, and Naby. But I haven't seen how nervous they were. Even though Kaiser outperforms Henderson in pretty much every metric there is, I still think now, seeing how nervous they were, now they capitulated in that first half, he'll go back to his tried and trusted captain.
Yeah.
For that one. Do you reckon any? I don't know anyone.
Yeah, I think.
What do you reckon, Rick?
I think he'll go Henderson in at the start with Thiago and Fabinho, and I just think he'll see how the game goes, and if Real Madrid are there for the beating, he'll bring Naby Keita on the second half.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, there's been games this season where Keita's done well starting, and then deserved to start the next game, which is fair enough. But I'd be shocked if Henderson doesn't start. I'd be absolutely.
My thing with Naby is he can drop a 10, but he can drop a 4 as well. So I'm always a bit nervous about him when he plays. But Hendo, he's going to be a 6 or a 7. Sorry,
second half.
Yeah, he did. He dropped both. There.
Exactly.
Hello, Doug. Are you back, mate? Have you turned your Wi-Fi on or not?
Unfortunately, just a few technical difficulties through my end, and the laptop decided to die. So I'm on my phone now. So it's just one of those things. But no, do you know what? I was listening into what you guys were saying, and I think Henderson is a shoo-in for this final. I do now, but I didn't before Tuesday. But as I say, I've had a change of heart. Aye, I think Hendo was definitely a start. In fact, I think the only question mark for this team would be either Matip or Konate for me.
Yeah, and I'd go Konate personally.
I'd go Konate.
I
never had. I seen like a stat. I don't know how accurate it was. I presume it was on Twitter about their centre backs and their the aerial duels that they win is quite low for centre backs, and obviously Canate and Van Dijk are absolute beasts, aren't they, in there?
So,
Yeah.
I
And
think it was
also,
out
when
of
you think about it,
47%, was it?
Canate's played most of the Champions League games anyway, hasn't he? Pretty much. So it's he kind of, but obviously, and I think the guys who miss out, the nearly men, will play next Saturday in against Chelsea.
Yeah, I
Matip,
think so as
Kaiser, etc., and maybe Jota will all get the nod next Saturday.
well. Klopp goes mad and plays Adrian up front and Ox in goal. That ain't happening. I can
What
definitely
about?
say that ain't happening.
Yeah, hear me out. What about shot at redemption for Karius?
No, hell no.
I'd rather
Hell
go
to
and
the
live
no.
in a cave for a month.
He's that actually he's that massive though now. Karius, he wouldn't even have to make any saves. He just literally would just fill the goal. He's massive, isn't he? He's
he's
stuff like
now.
Torres.
Yeah.
Alisson, Trent, Matip, VVD, Robbo, Fab, Hendo, Kea, Salaman. Is this to start the final? Or is this
sure.
to start?
I'm presuming so, yeah.
The front three
I
pick
couldn't see
itself.
Diaz in there then, could I?
No,
No, I
Diaz in
didn't
that
see
team.
Diaz.
You've got to
Yeah,
have Diaz now.
Diaz for me is now a shoo-in for the final.
You've got to have him in, yeah, 100%.
Regardless of what happens. Anyway, but no, I see similar ways to this to the last final we had in Madrid. Most of their team they still have. Gareth Bale is likely not to play. I think that's probably gonna not happen. He's not going to get played anyway. Yeah, I know. Me too.
Same with Hazard as well. Hazard, I was talking to my mates from watching him going, how mad is it that Hazard and Bale are just nowhere near this squad? But I'm glad to see they're not playing because Hazard, how many great goals did he score against us as well?
No, I don't know if you've seen the size of him now. He probably won't be able to
I
run
know,
past
but I thought you just never know.
Cian, to answer your question, I have a feeling he's got Mignolet's old number 22. Now, it could be completely wrong.
I didn't actually think he was in the squad. I thought Klopp said he'd had a chat with him and basically said there was no way he was going to be ever playing again or something. I thought that's why he'd went massive. I thought he'd just been doing the weights and that. I don't even know. Does he even still train with the first team?
Yeah, I've seen him in pictures in training. Yeah, he probably just, when they put the cross in and they get like the balloon things out so that the goalkeeper has to, they probably use Karius for that now with the size of him.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Just to pass it into people and that.
Yeah.
I did. I for some strange reason, I think Karius is number 22 for some reason. Oh, there you go. Bang on. There you go. Serial pie eater Hazard now. Yeah, I think that is definitely. Hello, Chris. Did you see the FIFA 22 Premier League team of the season? The only word to describe it, laughable. No, I haven't.
Yeah, we got 6 in there. 6 players we got in there.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Who is it? Who have we got?
We got Trent, Alisson, Van Dijk, Salah, Mane, and who's the 6th?
Thiago?
Jota. I don't think it's Jota or Thiago. We definitely got 6 in there because I couldn't believe Fabinho weren't in there.
Alisson.
Fabinho's not in there.
No.
Alisson, Trent, Robbo, did you say?
Let's have a look. They put it on the Twitter page. So we got. So it's Alisson, Trent, Jota, Van Dijk, Mane, and Salah.
Jota. Wow.
Yeah.
Jota ahead of Fabinho.
Yeah.
Suppose he had a great start of the season, didn't he?
I'm amazed at that. I'm absolutely amazed, considering that Fabinho has undoubtedly been the best CDM as well. I think Karius beats Hazard in a pie eating contest. Yeah, Jota. Wow, there you go. And hello, Gary. I hope you are good as well. Because that wasn't the only game that we did actually have the weekend, because we had a hard-fought 1-0 victory against Newcastle. And Ricky, at the end of the game, you saw Klopp puffing out his cheeks thinking that was one that was very, very tough. And he would have looked at that game and thought, this is one game we could potentially slip up in.
See, I looking at the start before the game, it's one of them banana skin games, but we controlled that game in second gear. I think Klopp puffed his cheeks out because the amount of chances we had in that game that we just didn't put away. Jota had a few. I think Jota was very poor in that game. He had a few chances. Like Dubravka didn't really have to make a save. I don't think we hit the target much in that game. I think he pulled off 2 or 3 good saves. Other than that, it took a bit of class from Naby Keita with the 1-2 at the edge of the area to take, and then to have the composure that he had. A lot of people had just tried to smash it there, and then he sort of drifted past the goalie and put it in between Gomara's legs. But yeah, like we controlled that game very well. I just think Joelinton's a bit of a handful, so I'm glad Gomez started at right back because I think he could have caused Trent a few problems with his physicality.
Yeah.
And Gomez is a big boy, so Gomez stood up well to him. Matip done well. Yeah, it was just one of them games where you could have 30 chances and we only had like 3 on target. But other than that, it was easy, I think.
Yeah, it certainly was. And Dan, I mean, a lot has been said about Joe Gomez, hasn't it? You know, he's probably going to be, you know, that centre-back option if obviously Konate and Matip are not there. But do you think he's probably now going to be Trent's backup right back?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he's done enough, hasn't he, in some of the games he's played. I think he played against Norwich. Was it Norwich? I was a bit worried about it, but he got an assist for the cross, I think, for Jota. And he's done all right. Listen, there's no player in Wales football who can replace Trent Alexander-Arnold. So you kind of, if he's not available, you're always going to be missing out there. But yeah, Gomez has done well. I'm glad to see him getting some games and getting a bit of fitness and a bit of sharpness. Going back to sort of what Ricky said, yeah, I agree. As a fan, when you're watching the game, you're always a bit nervous. But actually, when you think back over the game, did Newcastle really test us at all? Did Alisson make many saves? I can just think of one, which was like a speculative shot off Gomara's from about 20-odd yards out, which Alisson dealt with fairly comfortably. But really, it wasn't like we were under loads and loads of pressure and clinging on and hacking them away and all that. We were pretty composed, and it reminded me a bit of the Burnley game when it was only 1-0, and the interviewer said to Fabinho at the end, tough game there. Burnley had some chances, and Fabinho done that really memeable face, didn't he? And it kind of reminded me of that. But yeah, going into it, I was a bit worried, but I thought overall we controlled the game fairly well, and really it was just lack of finishing. It could have been a really good win, but in terms of the score, but as it was, yeah, it was just a great win.
Kind of says it all, Mick, that their keeper was probably man of the match as well, making so many very good saves from Jota, Diaz, and then the like.
Yeah, there was a Jota header, wasn't he? There was a Jota chance where he's basically through and he smashes it as hard as he can when you just like take a touch and place that and you sound. But that's just his style, isn't it? He likes to just hit it as hard as he can, and it does usually work, to be fair to him. I just look at the Mane chance. I think Gomez plays a good ball into the box, and Mane, it just whisks past the post. That goes in. We're settled, and I think we had like 20-odd shots, in the game. I think Newcastle had about 2 or 3. And I think that says a lot. I think, like you said, Ricky, like we controlled it from. I think the spell in the first maybe 10 minutes where they were trying to press us and play us at our own game. Obviously, they were going to do that because that's if you want to get at us and maybe get an early goal and then just sit back the rest of the game and try and get a 1-0 win. That's the way you've got to do it against Liverpool. You've got to get an early one and then you can sit back and rest and chill and just sit back as far as you can and wait for us to break you down, because that's sometimes where we come a bit unstuck if against teams like that, like the Everton game, for example, where it took a while for us to break through in that game. But yeah, that was a game I never felt worried. I think I felt worried when I saw the starting 11 a little bit, because obviously Milner coming in, I was like, I'm not sure, because he was coming in on sub appearances, and obviously it's not really enough to gauge like where he is in terms of, obviously he's 36, so you can't expect wonders from him. But he came in and done like the crunching tackle for the first goal. That was just like typical Jimmy Milner, weren't it? Like just top class. And yeah, and I think I was worried because of that. And then as soon as like the 10 minutes was over and we started getting the ball down, passing it round and making some chances, I just wanted us to get a goal a bit quicker than that and make the chances count, because that's when you can relax and that's when you can start bringing players off and start resting players. And we're at 1-0. it's a bit of a risky move to do that. Like we've just been talking about Guardiola doing it with taking De Bruyne off and whatever else. It's a risk that you need to take, but when it's 1-0, you can't really take those risks, especially in a game that we needed to win. So yeah, it was a good win. It was a good win, and especially it's funny because Sky Sports and the media just build it up, don't they? Like have Newcastle as like the second best form team in the league and whatever, and you read into that and you start believing that, and you're thinking, oh, maybe they can get something from this game. But then when the two teams are on the pitch, you realise just how far ahead we are in terms of quality, and then we've got just like obviously the subs on the bench coming on, making an impact and whatever else. That's just where we are at the moment, and that's how the Klopp's took us of these 7 years, and that's how good he's made us, that we can just relax when it's not going right, and we're still plugging away and whatever. We know the goal's going to come, and that's where we're at, and that's where that kind of mentality monsters thing comes from, where we never stop until we get that goal. And then once we get the goal, we know we're not going to concede, and that's why you can kind of relax a little bit. But yeah, I'm always worried when it's 1-0. I think everyone is, aren't they? That's just the scoreline where you just know if like one little fluke off a corner or whatever else, you never know what's going to happen. So.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we managed to keep Gomares quiet, Ricky. I don't know about you, but I always saw him as the danger man. I never saw like Saint-Maximin is dangerous at times, but he does have a tendency to be on the ball a lot. And he seems to doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know whether to pass it. He doesn't know whether to go a goal. He doesn't know whether to, pass it back. I actually thought Gomares, we managed to keep him pretty quiet, and you have to say fair play to Naby Keita because it was a lovely finish, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think with that Bruno, he's played against teams recently that will give him time on the ball, let him dictate what he wants to do with it. I just think with us, he had a midfield, James Milner just threw himself everywhere in that opening 60 minutes, didn't he? So that Bruno didn't really get time on the ball. We were there on him straight away. And I think probably Naby Keita is one of his best performances in the Liverpool shirt, that Newcastle game. He controlled the midfield very well with Milner and was it Henderson? They just controlled it so well, and I just think it didn't give the Newcastle players, Shelby, even Bruno and Miriam didn't really have much time on the ball. But no, it was a professional performance. And like I said, if we really wanted to, we could have stepped it up another gear and just completely finished them off. But I'm seeing a few players lately not fully exerting themselves because of the games we've got coming up. They obviously don't want to miss out on them. Yeah. Robertson looks absolutely smashed to pieces in certain games. I think he needs a few oranges at our time and a 5-minute breather, because you see at the end of that Newcastle game, he put that tackle in last sort of couple minutes and then run down the other end. But it's professional, it's a good performance, and it's business part of the season now, isn't it? I read a stat earlier that if there could be a playoff between Liverpool and City at the end of the season for the league title, so it's one goal in it. So if they manage to get the goal back, if City lose one game and we draw a game, it goes down to a playoff, because we've both obviously got 2 all draws at our ground and their ground. So they'll do it on a one-off playoff. It's the only way to settle the difference. That could be interesting. It's like 80-1, I think, on Sky Bet if anyone's interested.
Okay. A playoff. That would just not. Oh, that would. I don't know if I could take a playoff at the end of the season against Manchester City. But I tell you something. Whatever happens now between now and the end of the season, it is going to be so key. I mean, I think this Premier League season has been fantastic anyway. But you look at it as well, like the relegation. The relegation battle is just as intense as the title race. The top 4 race, well, okay, if Arsenal win this weekend and Tottenham lose to us, well, we will go on to the Tottenham game, because I think the Tottenham game's the hardest game left. I think anyway, but that Newcastle game feels huge just for the people saying that was the game that potentially Newcastle could get something out of Liverpool. And obviously we pray that they try and get something out of Manchester City. So I'm going to ask you all this. We all think Newcastle could get something off City? Ricky, what do you think?
No, I think Newcastle are going to get punished for what happened to City in midweek.
Interesting. Dan?
I have the same pattern, mate, each week. We tend to play first ahead of City, and if we beat Tottenham and go back top, I will be fully believing that Newcastle will get something the next day. Do you know what I mean? And it kind of goes like that. And it was like, So right now, I'd say no, they're not going to. But come 4 o'clock or whatever it is on Sunday, if Liverpool are top of the league, I'll be like, come on, the Geordies, you just can't do this. You know what I mean?
Mick?
Yeah, I'm just, like Dan said, I'm sick of us winning and then waiting for the Sunday and like, just come on, Leeds, like last week. And it's just like
4 minutes in, 1-0.
Yeah, destined just to happen, isn't it? Like, if it's not happened, then they're not going to win. I think it was at St James's, like we've just been talking about us going to St James's, and it was quite a difficult game in terms of scoreline, scoring goals. But it's at City's ground. But I think this is quite, in terms of being a key game, I think it is, because they've just got knocked out of the Champions League. This is the moment where they need to show now. They've got basically 4 finals. This is the game now where they need to show it. If they drop points in this, that proves that Real Madrid game has got to them. But if they end up battering Newcastle 3-4-0, it's like, well, it's theirs to lose, and it is theirs to lose anyway. But I feel like if they just put Newcastle away on Sunday just so easily, then I'm quite an optimistic person, but they're just too good in terms of like just turning teams over who are usually a difficult team to face. They just grind results out, and they're so robotic in the approach in terms of getting to the byline, whipping it in, scoring a goal, and it just happens all the time. That they're just so good at it, and I just expect them to win every game. But you can never say never, as the old saying goes. So hopefully, never know. Take a draw.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Good evening, Andrew Williams. Jens, big word of caution for you. I do worry about the impartiality of the ref in the final. I thought some of the officiating this week was head scratching, to say the least. Yeah. There were a couple of games that I was like, yeah, the referee was pretty poor. I don't know if anyone saw the Roma-Leicester game last night. Refereeing was absolutely atrocious in that. Leicester should have had a stonewall penalty from Chris Smalling on Fofana, not given. And Leicester have gone out on that. And it's going to be very interesting, whoever referee we get as well. Obviously, to win the LFC with maybe Maxime or Shelvey scoring. Ooh, 2-1. Very interesting. Liverpool was professional at St James's Park. Yep. I would know. I've never heard your voice. Naby Keita was a little dodgy at Villarreal. Him and Robin particularly looked poor in the first half. Yeah, I know. Yeah, 7:45. We will get onto the Spurs game because I've got a saying about that time. I just think it's ridiculous. I know it's bad form to drop big players, big games, but I play Costas in every league game for the rest of the season. Robin needs a rest or a shot of black tar heroin. Ooh, Costas. You see, I like what you're saying, but Klopp likes Robbo, and he'll play Robbo, but maybe we might see Costas in against Villa, considering we've got the FA Cup final the next game Saturday. Yeah,
that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. Klopp would tell for that at the moment for it being in his hands. Hello, have you seen the kit reveal video? Makes me so proud to be from the city. John Wallace, thank you very much for tuning in. Yes, I have seen it, and what did we make of the kit, actually? Just very, very quickly before we do go into the Spurs preview. Ricky, do you like the new home kit?
Yeah, quite basic, but like I said to Luke yesterday, that I don't care what it looks like as long as it's got the liver bird on it. It's red. We're getting paid a ton load of money off Nike for it. So I couldn't care what it looks like, to be fair.
Yeah, Dan, do you like the new home kit?
It's just a Nike kit, isn't it, mate? They tend to keep them pretty basic. For me, we peaked with the 17-18 kit, and I wish we could have just played in that kit forevermore. But it's fine. It's I'll get it for me kids, and they look cool, and I'll be wearing it, and that's about as far as I'll go with it.
I don't know about you, Mick, but it gives me 0405 vibes. I don't know, just because of the actual colour. We saw that sort of 0405 kit. It makes you think it sounds a little bit like that one.
Yeah, I don't mind like simplistic kits because I think like this year's when it came out and there was like that whatever burnt orange on the sleeves, we were all like, "What the hell is this?" Then you see it like in person, like at the ground, whatever, and you're like, "Actually, it's not that bad." But like I think simple's just the way to go. But like Dan says, like Nike, they tend to keep it quite uniform and quite basic anyway. But yeah, I think it's one of those things. Like if we win a load of trophies in it, then I'll love it. But it's just a standard Liverpool kit, and I sometimes think we sometimes go a little bit OTT with like adding little extra bits to it. So I'm quite happy it's just plain. Like I quite like it, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, John, I'm like you. I like the kit as well. Newcastle could tie City. Fingers crossed. Spurs are dangerous. Yeah, we will definitely get onto Spurs. Hopefully they aren't stellar tomorrow. Brian, Newcastle about to get the God of War treatment. It's going to be carnage. Let's see, though. We don't know how they're going to react to Wednesday night. Yeah, that's true. Roma Leicester was horrific. Yes, horrific. It was. I think refs need to learn how to be referees. All Liverpool can do is win. This kickoff time is stupid. Yeah, let's get on to the Spurs preview. Whoever decided on a 7:45 kickoff time. Yeah, Ricky, what do you make of that kickoff time? Bit weird, isn't it?
I mean, Liverpool seem to get the wrong end of TV time games. Obviously, with the 12:30 with Newcastle after playing Wednesday night. I mean, when was the last 7:45 kickoff on a Saturday night? And the first time in about a million years is us again.
Yeah,
you got to feel sorry for the Tottenham fans that have got to travel all the way up there on a night game. It's not even that. So we're playing 7:45 kickoff on a Saturday, and then we're playing Tuesday as well. So why not make it like an earlier game on the Saturday, knowing that we're playing on the Tuesday? I mean, they're just trying to everything to. It's like the Premier League now bow down to the TV companies, didn't they? That's what it is now. It's all about money. And
my guess is that probably because there's no 12:30 game because it's the end of the Championship. I take it. Is that right? I'm feeling that the Championship season ends on Saturday, so I think that's why there's no 12:30 games. So I think they want to focus on the ending of the Championship. I mean, the only thing really in the Championship to decide is that last spot in the playoffs. So yeah, it is a bit weird. It is at that time as well. But Dan, Tottenham, we all know about the danger of Son and Harry Kane. But I want to go to Kulusevski for a wee minute. What have you made of him recently? I have to say, I think he's been a very good signing for Spurs.
He's done well, hasn't he? I mean, the form's been a bit patchy, hasn't it? They've had some good results, some not so good results, but yeah, he's done well for them, and I think if Conte stays, they'll improve massively. But yeah, I mean, taking away them, the threat, as we all know, is going to be Son and Kane, isn't it? No doubt about that. I mean, we hear time and time again, don't we? Liverpool's high line. Liverpool's high line is a problem. It's dangerous. And we've got like an unbelievable defensive record. But if there was ever two players where you think, oh, hang on, they could really pose a problem, you think of Kane dropping deep, and then with his passing ability, which is as good as anyone in the league, and Son's pace and his ability to make them clever runs, you do actually think, this could be a real sticky one, But we always underestimate this team. This Liverpool team, I mean, by the way, because they always sort of come good for us, and but yeah, it's going to be a real test tomorrow. It's not what I'm looking forward to, but I do think it's the last sort of real big test for the season. I looked at the fixtures with about nine or so games to go, and I remember thinking, out of them 9, Liverpool had the tougher fixture than Man City 6 times. It was like 6-3. But if we can get through this, it flips about a bit, and actually City's last 3 games are probably harder than ours. Wolves have dropped off a bit, so maybe Wolves will be a bit easier for them now. But West Ham away will certainly be harder than the last game against Villa. Villa are shit. But there is that narrative that, Steven Gerrard will want to get a result. Obviously, he's not playing. Be great if he was playing, but there might be that, we see these mad things happen in football. But if we can get the result tomorrow, regardless of what happens with City and Newcastle, because I expect City to win, then the last 3 games, I think that's our chance, kind of thing. Where we might be able to catch the points up. But yeah, tomorrow we've got to get tomorrow out the way, and that's going to be a real tough game.
It is. I mean, Mick, Spurs have had a Spursy season. I mean, 1 week they're beating Manchester City 3-2, and then the next game week they're losing 1-0 to Burnley, 1-0 to Middlesbrough, and I think they've had a few weird results recently. As well, they lost to Manchester United. I think they lost 3-2 there. They're prone to a bad result. So, do you think this is a good time to be playing Spurs?
I don't know, because I think, like you said, they're so inconsistent. So you just don't know what Spurs you're going to face. But I agree with Dan, in terms of the way they play. Kane's going to drop off the halfway line. They're going to look to play balls in behind for Son. So whether that, we talked about Konate maybe starting in the Champions League final. It might be a game for Konate again, just for that extra pace up against Son, because he is so quick. I don't know. I think what Spurs are they 2 points off top 4, are they? So they've got a lot to play for, haven't they? There's a lot to play for them. It's gonna be a lot of Arsenal fans hoping we win tomorrow, of course. But I don't know. It is a tricky game. It's still a tricky game. I'm quite happy in a way that it's a late game, because if it was an early game at Anfield, it's sometimes the atmosphere isn't quite there because everyone's still half asleep and they haven't had enough ale in the belly to get the Al songs going. So it's going to be under the lights at Anfield in a game where we need to win and they need to win. So they're not going to be sitting back hoping that we're going to make mistakes. They're going to come out maybe looking to do what Newcastle wants to do and try and get an early goal, like Villarreal did, get an early goal and then maybe sit on that and build from that. But they've got a lot of quality, and like you say, Kulusevski and Son and Kane, that's very, very good front 3, to be fair. Kulusevski's been terrific. You've got to admit that, in terms of coming in January, same as Diaz, and we're talking about Diaz being unbelievable. But I think Kulusevski, from their point of view, he's been quality, hasn't he? And then Son's pace and Kane's creativity and just popping up with important goals, you can't underestimate it. So we're gonna have to be on top form. But I'm looking forward to it because it's under the lights at Anfield. They need to win, we need to win. So it's going to be a cracker, I think. But I just feel like we're in autopilot mode where we can just switch it on and we can just brush teams aside. I think the media will probably big it up as this big clash of top 4 versus title race and challenging Liverpool and whatever else, the usual crap. But more often than not, we have enough. In the games that matter, we turn up and we just discarded these teams like we know we can, because with the quality we've got, and I hope we do it as well tomorrow.
Oh, fingers crossed. If we're saying that, Tottenham are very, very good attacking, Ricky, defensively they're not the best. Reguilon is out tomorrow, so you look at that. Ben Davis is going to probably be, playing as well. They've got Romero, they've got Dyer, I think, and then it's either Emerson Royale or Matt Doherty. Now I know Matt Doherty's been sort of in and out of the side. He seems to be on the left-hand side recently as well. They're not the best defensively, and midfield-wise, they're not the best either. So we should be feeling confident in playing through their midfield, hopefully.
Yeah, I think Tottenham are going to come to try and hit us on the counter with Son, Kane, and Kulusevski on the wing. Romero's a decent-ish defender that they've got at centre half, but Eric Dyer's dreadful. Emerson Royale's got to be one of the worst right-backs I've ever seen play football. For how there was a bidding war and a fighting battle for him last summer between them and Arsenal. Wow. And then obviously the left back. Listen, whoever plays left back, Salah's due a let me smash a left back day. So because he's due a couple goals as well. So I'm hoping he has a good game tomorrow. Mo Salah looks like he's in war mode at the minute, so it could be interesting. We could put 4 or 5 past them. It could be one of them games, or it could be a frustrating Everton game again where it will take us time to break them down. Their midfield's not that good. Højbjerg is just a thug. I think he could potentially see a red card because we know what Thiago's like on the ball, and Højbjerg just might get frustrated and just put one on him. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It could be a close game, or it could be a cricket score.
Yeah, it does. It does feel like that. Anyway, Dan, would you go full strength tomorrow or full strength against Villa?
They're all cup finals, aren't they, mate? So you need to go full strength in them all somehow. I mean, I don't really know. Yeah. So sorry about that. Yeah. So I mean, got to. I don't envy Klopp's job at the moment because he's got to somehow try and get us through these games. But obviously, they're all cup finals, aren't they? So how do you manage that? Just trying to think. When did we play Tuesday? Tuesday, didn't we? So, and then Saturday night. So that gives us a bit of a break. So I think with this being the toughest game, I'd try and get this one won. Yeah, so I'd go full strength and then maybe make a couple of rotations on Tuesday then against Villa. Yeah. So yeah, full strength for me tomorrow.
Mick, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Dan. Like, it's full strength, but we've got what's that tomorrow night, and then we've got Villa on Tuesday, so you've got 3 days there. So maybe, like I said before, maybe Konate starts this one, and you've got Matip coming for Villa. You maybe change Keita and Hendo around. You give Jota a game against Villa as well. I mean, we say like full strength, but I don't know if we know what full strength is at the minute because Matip, Konate, it's who's the better out of those two. You've got Keita and Henderson, who Keita's been starting most games recently. Jota started against Villarreal when I expected Diaz to. That surprised me. Obviously, Diaz then came on. So it's like we're at the point where there's that many players in positions, and this is what we want. We want loads of quality players fighting for the really key positions all over the pitch, and we've got that in abundance. So, yeah, full strength, but who knows what that is? I don't know because I keep trying to second guess Jurgen Klopp, and I'm always wrong. So I'd love to see Diaz start, especially tomorrow, because I think we need that pace. And I think, like I said earlier, like he keeps us nice and the width nice and high. And I think, like Ricky said, against Emerson Royale, it could be. I pray for him, honestly, because he's been tearing every right back in the league to pieces. So, and I think that he's another one that he could definitely do damage against, and I think that's where we might look to get him behind against them. But I'm interested to see how they set up. I'm really intrigued to see it because obviously they've done well against City, Spurs this season, and obviously City play maybe a similar way to us in terms of pressing the ball. So I'm interested to see what they do, but I just feel like we're at the stage, like I said, we're autopilot. We know what we need to do and we know what's required. So I'm just hoping we get, like, in terms of them wanting an early goal, I think if we get an early goal, then I think we'll get quite a few.
Yeah, I agree as well. So predictions. What are you going to go for, Ricky?
I'm going to stick with what I said earlier, 3-0. I think we'll beat Spurs.
3-0.
Yeah.
Ooh. Dan?
I'll go 2-1, mate.
2-1. Mick?
I'll go 3-1.
Yeah, I had 3-1 as well. I had 3-1 as well, and I do agree. I think we should probably go. I'm thinking Ali, Trent, probably Matip, Van Dijk, Robbo, and then probably Fabinho, Endo, Thiago, Diaz, Salamani. I think you've got to have that. Your best front three at the moment, and then it'll be a very, very intriguing game anyway. Hello, Eamon Kelly. Hope you're good. 2-0 for the Reds. Brian Morrissey says, please, God, just keep Thiago fit for the Champions League final. Yeah, definitely. 4-0 Matip hat-trick. Matip hat-trick. That would be something. I wonder what odds you could get on a Matip hat-trick. Let me just say that. Let me just say that one anyway. But we do have another game on Tuesday night because we play Aston Villa at Villa Park. Yeah, I have put in the timeline there. Let's get revenge for 7-2 because, let's be honest, Ricky, we all want to forget that memory, don't we? 7-2.
Mate, that was the first episode me and Luke started on our podcast. Was it? Yeah, that was the first game we did. We thought, why have we done this? I mean, but no, I mean, in every got to be like 10 years, you always get that one mad result. And didn't Spurs smash Man United midday that day? Wasn't it like
6-1.
6-1. And then I had my mate round who's a United fan. He was like, watch, it's going to be exactly the same is going to happen in the Villa game. I was like, no, you're having a laugh. And then 7-2, I mean, it's like you couldn't have looked at it and thought, they'll probably put the kids out or the C team or dinner lady and the canteen staff. But, I mean, we put a very good team out that night and we just got absolutely destroyed. But to be fair, when it 4 of their goals all deflected past Adrian, and we had Adrian in goal as well.
I was just going to say, we had Adrian in goal, so that's like, you're losing from the minute one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, did Alisson have... did he have
COVID? I think, mate. I think he had COVID,
Yeah. Well, he might have... Yeah, it was COVID, because we didn't have Manny that night either, I don't think.
Oh, do you remember how horrible it used to be like when we were in like peak COVID and like you'd start getting news on like Twitter on the Friday that like players hadn't trained and they had COVID and you'd just have your head in your hands and then like it nearly always comes true. And I remember on the Friday it was like Mane and Alisson can't play Sunday and I was like horrible times then, weren't they?
It certainly is. Mick, I don't know if you've seen much of Villa, but do you think Stevie's sort of improved them as a team ever so slightly?
It's hard to say, isn't it? Because I think they started off quite well, which is usually the case when you get a new manager. But I think it's maybe getting his tactics and whatever across. Obviously, he hasn't been there that long, so he needs to have a few windows to see plays that he's going to bring in. Obviously, he's brought in Philip Coutinho, which was like a major shock and a major coup, really, in terms of how good he is. And we've already seen how good he is with the goals and assists he's made already for them. But it depends if they can keep him, if they can get him on a permanent deal, then I think that's a major platform for them to build on in terms of getting more players in. Because I think he's in terms of like Gerrard as a player, you want everyone knows who he is. All the players playing now know who he is, and have probably watched them as a kid growing up. So you want to go and play for Steven Gerrard, and I think that's a big draw. And I don't think you can underestimate that. Like no one expected Coutinho to go to Villa, and I think that was. Obviously, Gerrard was a huge influential figure behind that. But yeah, I think he's done okay. I think we were talking a lot about like maybe is he going to take over from Klopp in 24? Obviously, that's not going to happen now because Klopp's sticking around until 26. But 4 years' time, he will have been at Villa for 5 years at that point. And it's going to be interesting to see how he does. Obviously, we all want him to do well, but we just don't know what in terms of how good he can be, because he's got a good Villa team with good players, but I think after a few windows he's got a few more players in that maybe fit his style and whatever else, but then you can maybe see what he's trying to achieve. But like you see the improvements in like Ramsey in midfield and players like that, so yeah, there's quality there in terms of him being a really good top coach in the Premier League, but I suppose it's yet to be seen. But yeah, he's done okay. I think that's all you can say. Like I don't know what a Villa fan would make of it. I'm sure they'd be happy that if they've got a top manager who's brought top players in, but they've kind of tailed off in terms of results. They pick up one here and there, and they beat big teams, and then they'll lose another one. And I think it's like Spurs in a way, but they're just a lot lower down the league. So it's a bit hard to take when you're in the bottom half. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm interested to see how his career path goes, and hopefully he starts turning them around a bit, because we know he's going to be at Liverpool at some point. So if Villa do well, that makes it a little bit easier for us for him to acclimatise better at Liverpool, I think, when the day comes.
Yeah, definitely. Kane has just had a gander. Matip is 505 to 1 to score a hat trick. Time to stick 50 quid on it. Jesus. I'm not very good with betting, but 50 quid on 505 to 1. I've not.
Give me the 50 quid by PayPal, right? And if it comes in, I'll pay you the money.
It's 25 grand. That if it comes.
Yeah, but I'll do it.
I'll
do it. I'll take the bet.
Well, Coutinho did a Villa was entirely predictable. Good for 4 games, then nothing. Yeah, Ricky, I don't know about you, but every time I watch Villa, they don't have any pace in that side.
It's because they try to give Coutinho the ball every time they go forward. And a lot of teams have sort of figured it out after the 4 games. So they're putting 2 or 3 around him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you can have Coutinho and Buendia in the same team. They're both the same sort of player. And it don't help when you've got the players Villa have got up top. I mean, Danny Ings is shocking. Ollie Watkins had one good season. I think he scored all his goals against us last season.
Yeah.
But they've got a very good young players. They've got Ramsey, who a few teams are looking at, and they've got Chukwueze as well. Apparently, he's not signing a new deal at Villa, so he could be going this summer. But Villa have got a very good team. I just think their forwards let them down massively. Like they need a centre half to go with Konza, because I think Mings is he's dreadful. They've also got Lucas Digne at left back. He's a very good passer, crosser. He's got decent left foot. They've got Matty Cash at right back, who apparently could be going to Atletico Madrid in the summer. So they've just got to invest. Apparently they're going to invest in the summer, so they just need a couple of forwards, like a proper striker, because what they've got now is dreadful.
I think it's quite. I think you've summed that up pretty well. I think obviously Jacob Ramsey is the one to watch out for. I think for Villa, and obviously Coutinho. Obviously, if he does play, but Jacob Ramsey is a player who I've been very, very impressed with.
Yeah, he looks like a real promising player, doesn't he, mate? I've not seen a lot of Villa, but yeah, from bits of highlights that I've seen and things on social media, people really seem to be rating him quite highly. Yeah, I was a bit surprised when Steven went there, to be honest with you. I didn't really see it as being a massive step up from Rangers in terms of, obviously, yeah, the Premier League's a high-profile league than the Scottish Premier. But in terms of like playing in Europe and competing for trophies and being at the top end, I thought he would have been best off staying at Rangers if he, ultimately wants to cut his teeth for the Liverpool job, because it's such a goldfish bowl up there with the demand to win every game is so high. Rangers similar to Liverpool, and yeah, I just think he's done okay. But I mean, I was looking at, they beat Norwich last weekend, and before that he got 1 point from 15. So yeah, I just thought it was a bit of a middling career move for him. And the only thing I can think of, I know he's a bit of a home bird and he's a bit closer to getting back to Liverpool than he wasn't up in Glasgow. But yeah, a bit underwhelming so far. I was surprised he took the job, and I fully expect us to get the win on Tuesday. Yeah,
I do as well. Obviously, I think from all of us, congratulations to Rangers getting to the Europa League final. I don't think anyone expected Rangers to get to the Europa League final, let alone
unbelievable, mate.
Get to the final. Get to the final even without Stevie. But Stevie did obviously start the Rangers journey, and it is a squad. But Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, well done to him, and Rangers absolutely fantastic, and play Eintracht Frankfurt in the final. So going to be a very, very interesting game as well. But going ahead to sort of team selections, Mick, I think we might see a few changes to the team on Tuesday. I think play your first 11 against Tottenham, and then probably make a couple of changes for Tuesday. Bobby, maybe to come back in.
Yeah, I think Klopp done his press today, didn't he? Saying like Bobby's back in training, but it might not make sense to play him tomorrow. It might be better just to leave him for Tuesday. So yeah, throw him in. I mean, when Bobby's played, like, he scores goals and he's actually looked really sharp. It's just a shame that he keeps picking up these injuries, because he gets to a level where you're like, this is Bobby back again, and then he's out for a week or two, and you're like, like, he's back. Is he back to square one again in terms of building up that confidence and whatever? But there's no doubt about the quality. So yeah, maybe that's a good shout, to be fair. But I think Jota probably won't start tomorrow, so I think that makes him start Tuesday. I mean, for me, he's gone. I'll keep telling you, Ricky. I knew that. Don't worry. I think I already gave my lineup anyway. I think I've gone Konate tomorrow, and then Matip on Tuesday, Henderson tomorrow, Keita on Tuesday, Jota on Tuesday, Diaz tomorrow. So I think that's the only three for me that you're looking at. I think the rest kind of picks itself. Alisson, Trent, obviously, Konate, Matip, Konate, Van Dijk, Robbo, Hendo, Fabinho, Thiago, and then you go Salah, Mane, and Diaz for me tomorrow.
Would you put Costas in against Villa?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it's a risk anymore because we know how good he is. But I just feel like it might be. I don't know. The thing is, he might do it, and like you go, yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing. Like he's gonna, because we know how good Costas is, and when he comes on, he's a quality player. But I don't know if it's a risk too many. But then he threw Gomez in for Newcastle. So what do we know? Like it's so hard.
The thing I was thinking, Mick, is I presume Villa are playing this weekend, aren't they? Are they? Yeah.
I'll have a look for you.
I'm presuming so. So I mean, I think the more we've got the opportunity to get more fresh legs in against them on Tuesday night. You know, it's getting to the end of the season. Legs are tired. The more sort of freshness we've got against, you know, even our sort of backup players slightly are still probably going to be better than Villa's first team players. Haven't played Saturday and Tuesday. Do you know what I mean? So he might make a few more changes. And don't underestimate, you know, some big changes, especially after what he did against Newcastle. And I'm sure the fume on social media will be just as big again if James Milner plays and Gomez plays and this, that, and the other. But we'll have to just sort of trust Klopp on it. But as I say, with the cup final coming up on Saturday, which is just amazing, because I was thinking about it before, and I said to me, mate, I can't believe the FA Cup final's next Saturday, because normally the FA Cup final would be like the high point of the season. You couldn't wait for it. But as it is, we've obviously got other fish, bigger fish still to fry. It's amazing. That's the thing that this time next week we'll be doing a preview for the FA Cup final.
Yeah, they sort of killed the FA Cup a little bit by putting it in between Premier League games.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a. I don't know why they've done that this year. They normally do it in like a World Cup here, don't they? To try and get the season over a bit quicker and give the international players a bit longer to get ready for the World Cup or the Euros. But obviously that's not this summer. So it's a bit of a weird one, and yeah, it does. It takes a bit of the shine off it. I mean, I remember growing up as a kid in the late 80s. The FA Cup final there was no Europe obviously then, and the FA Cup final was the biggest tournament. You know what I mean? And being the last game of the season at Wembley, the old Wembley. It always seemed to be dead sunny and all that, brilliant pitch. It was always the highlight of the season, and just shows a shoehorn in with a couple of league games still to go. It is another little thing where it took a bit of the shine off it for me. You back with us, Douglas?
The Gremlins have got me tonight. I do apologise. It's just one of those nights.
It's just live TV, mate.
Live streaming, isn't it? But yeah, quickly score predictions. I'm going to think if we play to our best, I think we win this game 2-0.
Yeah, he's still a bit shaky, Doug, but I'll jump in and hopefully everyone can hear me, and I'll go for a 2-0 as well. I think you said 2-0, didn't you?
Yeah, I said 2.
I'll go for. I don't know. It's hard to call in Villa away. Yeah, I'll go with 2-0 as well. Why not?
In fact, you know, I'm gonna go for a 7-2 win for Liverpool.
And what win? 7-2.
7-2 for Liverpool, yeah.
Can we just give them adjun for the game then and just batter them 7-2?
Can't they just give us the 3 points without turning up?
Yeah, they've got Grealish to score 12 deflected shots, so that's be sound.
Go ahead, Rick, and what about you, mate?
Yeah, I'll go 2-0 as well. Keep it full ass.
Doug, are you still with us, mate?
I am still with you, yeah.
You keep doing the piece of crouch robot dance, mate. You're like, yeah, there we go.
Jesus.
Right, so anyway, are you going to try and finish up, Doug, or do you need one of us to? Because you're doing the piece of the crouch robot, so you're probably just best off saying our goodbyes.
Yeah,
I think,
probably saying our goodbyes, yeah.
All right, well, nice one for that. Yeah, nice one for having me, Doug. Pleasure as always. Mick.
Nice one, lad. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Ricky.
Yeah, appreciate it, lad.
Yeah, I'll say thanks. Thanks for coming on the show and up the Reds. Yeah, thanks for all your comments in the chat and all that sort of stuff. See you again next week for the Friday Football Focus. See you later.